have it. So you can't use that. It was thought, it's actually been tested in court, is whether that could be used as a lie detector. And it doesn't work because if we try to show you something novel to you, we don't know whether maybe you have seen it in your past and maybe you haven't. So sometimes that you can't know what's novel and what's not, so you don't know how to interpret the signal. So it's been actually thrown out of court as a possible lie detector.
I see. Well, is the problem in identifying the individual characteristics of the brain a matter of the sensitivity of existing equipment, or is it just that it's only the major structures of the brain seen in toto that really distinguish one individual from another?
Well, it could be that it is probably true that the overall electrical patterns generated in each brain is somewhat unique. I think we don't have accurate measurement techniques yet to do that. As I said, the noise introduced by the measurement would probably mask that. But it wouldn't be surprising. Each of us has a unique set of neurons that are assembled in a unique way based in part on our experience, so it could be that we could have a direct neural signature. So someday you might sit in front of your computer, put your head in a little helmet, and it would recognize you, and you could at least do sort of modest functions, I think, turning on, turning it off, or maybe directing it. But again, we have all these great interfaces already. Keyboards and fingers are not bad. So we have these that to have the one method that can do this is something called magnetoencephalography, which has to have super cooled magnets. And I think they're probably in the $1 million range, so we're a long way just financially for having MEGs in front of everybody's computer.
Well, let me ask a different security-related question. One development you foresee in BrainGate is the fully implantable version, which would require a wireless link between the device implanted in the brain and the prosthetic limb or whatever else is being controlled. So how do you protect the link between the implant and the prosthetic? How do you prevent a robotic arm from being maliciously commandeered, or how do you prevent jamming of the signal under important conditions?
So when I'm ready to do that, I'll be back here. Because I think it's you people have to tell us how to do that. I'm not an engineer. I'm a neurobiologist by training. So we do. I mean, there are practical kinds of simple things that we would do, like short range. There are government bans that are limited for medical devices. But really, I think encryption would be important. We had chatted a little bit earlier about controlling a wheelchair, which is actually quite simple to do. But in fact, imagine the terror of being in a wheelchair and trying to cross the street under brain control and have someone interfere or jam your signals. You would have to have a wheelchair that had its own intelligence to know whether to move or not move across the street, whether it was dangerous to go backwards or better to go forward. So these will be serious concerns. The current system that we're using actually uses an infrared signal that only goes a few centimeters, and that, of course, will help a lot because it's light and it's a very, very short distance. But these devices, we're going to be, communicating short distances across the body. And as this technology, there might be, eyes and ears and brain motor control devices. People might become loaded with radio devices, and it would be, something that's a concern of how do you protect all this information coming through.
Okay, so we have a homework assignment, as you've heard.
You guys can do that. Think about it over the next couple of years.
All right, well, we're out of time for the session, but there will actually be an opportunity for you to ask your own questions in the Crypto Commons after the session has concluded. Thank you very much to all of you for attending the last session of the day, and please thank Dr. Donoghue as well. And I hope we'll see you in the Crypto Commons.